Hello everyone, this is Soul Super 17 here, and let me just get through this like usual. I do not own this picture, and this is a non-paid video. Alright, okay. I have made this part 4 already, but for some reason it was 1 hour and 7 minutes and something seconds. But when I was trying to upload it, it was only 67 minutes and something seconds. So, yeah. Hold on. I'm downstairs, so hold on, guys. Okay, that's what I was saying. So yeah, I had to end the fight pretty early with Todoroki and Deku because of the last video. Like I said, I didn't even get to that part. It only had me at the part of Endeavor. So most of it was about him and Dabi talking to All Might and Nezu and Aizawa. So that part's still gonna happen again. But anyways, yeah. So let's get into this video. So that way I don't have any problems with corruption and the video isn't uploading all the way. Alright? Okay. So yeah, this is what Deku had cremation part 4. Alright. So, as Deku's just waiting for everyone to, start running and, trying to get in first place in this obstacle course, he's reminiscing about basically what the Class 1B and the General Studies class did. They basically declared war on Class 1A. Basically, when Deku opened up the door, though, he sees all of them, and he just asks, "So, is this a cheerleading squad? Asking me for an autograph, or just trying to declare war on us? Because if you are, I'm not in the mood to even care about any one of you. Just shut it and leave me alone." As then Monoma says, "Oh, look at the so-called hero of the school, because we heard rumors that you took on every one of the villains at the USJ all by yourself." He goes, and Deku just says, "Yeah, I did. You got a problem with that, Blondie?" He goes, and Monoma was just like getting irritated. He was like, "Don't make me, use my quirk on you." I was like, "Oh, you mean your little copy quirk? If you even try to copy my quirk, you're basically gonna burn yourself to a crisp. So, if I were you, I wouldn't even dare touch me." As Deku has a smile while Monoma kind of sees the scarring on Deku's neck. He goes, "So, did you do that to yourself?" And then Deku says, "Nah, it was my quirk did it to me. But hey, it happens sometimes, right?" So, you guys are gonna try to declare war on us just because we got to fight villains. Well, at least I did. No one else intervened. How pathetic of an excuse is that? Get out of my way, losers. As he just starts walking through the people, that are there. Then Shinto comes out after Bako says, "Hey, Deku, wait for me!" And he goes right, to Deku, basically. As everyone sees Shinto and asks him, "So this is where you've been?" He goes, "Yeah, and, I'm still in the general studies. I just come in here because they gave me a chance. Honestly, it's pretty surprisingly that they asked me about my quirk. I explained it to them, and they said that's the reason why I was put in general studies, because of it. They apologized, for, you know, for what they did, and they should have realized it right away. But, things happen." So, everyone asked him what's his deal, even Monoma, as he just says, "Well, his past is pretty rough, and believe it or not, even though he took down all the villains by himself, only 3 escaped, while 1 killed another villain. Well, what we thought was another villain, but Deku said it didn't seem like one, so might have just been some creature that they made. So, in all, they essentially just says, though, you never want to fight that guy. Trust me. If you saw what I saw, you would basically have never even come here." As in, people are kind of scared. So, Class 1A and Class 1B and the study courses talk about it. They get to know each other better, and yeah, and they're kind of like got like a relationship with the Class 1B students and the study course students, but not but not Mama. He's avoiding everyone. He's just trying to figure out how to get Deku back, but he will never do that. So, as when he stops reminiscing and remembering all that, he then notices Todoroki's gonna do something, but he just doesn't care. So, as soon as Midnight says go, she freezes the whole entire thing. And President Mike and Aizawa said, President Mike says, "Oh, look at one of your students. She's basically making the competition be able not to do anything." And he goes, "Yeah, believe it or not, she's only doing that because of one student of mine." He goes, Izuku Midoriya, quirk cremation / flame manipulation. Someone who's able to do things most other people can't with their fire. But hey, he's one of my most strongest students I have. Probably the best. As he goes, and then President Mike goes, "What do you mean?" He goes like, "Well, that kid is the one who took on all the villains by himself at the USJ attack. He didn't even have me do anything. He just did it all by himself. It was really weird, but I enjoyed the show." As I was just smiling, and says, "That kid is one heck of a monster. But I'm glad he's part of my class. And besides, he probably just let the ice hit him so that way he can see how cold it is." As Deku basically smiles and looks at Aizawa and just waves, and he says, "It looks like I was right, Aizawa," to say, and then all of a sudden, the whole entire ice evaporates, including the people that were trying to run to the door. They were frozen, stuck, and only some people in Class 1B and some people in Class 1A got through. So Deku unfroze everyone basically just with his pure heat from his body temperature, and then all of a sudden he starts to cover himself in cremation. His body, I mean, that it starts. All the flames on his body start to go to the back. To his back, as basically he starts to create wings. As Davi's seeing this and watching everything in the stands, and he's just thinking, "Man, my little brother he's one creative guy. No wonder why his strength is unrivaled to anyone I've ever faced. And he's the only one that can keep up with me." So when Deku creates these wings, he just says, "Well, it's good then one of my abilities is able to create bird animal-like features, so wings is no problem." And then he just looks up as the flames just get a little bit bigger, as then they just start moving on their own, as then he just goes up. Basically, everyone is shocked by this, including Mr. Aizawa, All Might, and Nezu, who's there. Even President Mike, he goes, "Whoa! I didn't know your student could do that." And Aizawa says, "I didn't either. But like I said, this kid is one heck of a monster. And plus, he's my top student. He can deny the impossible, I believe." So, yeah. As in Deku just flies up a little bit right above everyone else, and all of a sudden his body is covered in cremation. And he just says, "This should give me a little bit of a speed boost." So right when he's leaning forward, he just dashes right past everyone from where they were still at the door. The gate, to basically past. He even goes past the robots, the 0-pointers. By pass through, he literally goes right through every single one of them. And he thinks to himself, "That should help out some of the guys there. Some of the other students." And President McCoy's like, "Whoa! How is your kid moving so fast? And why is he covered in his own flames?" And Aizawa just says, "Cremation. Seems like he's basically able to do a full body of it instead of one part of his body at some points of his body's parts. So that's pretty impressive. That's what I mean. This kid's no slouch. If he was able to take on the whole entire villains all by himself, then What do you think it means by when this happens? This is nothing to him. As basically he's just flying over everything. Bakugo and Todoroki are technically in the first place, but then when he sees Deku's like being covered in fire, his own cremation, and then he stops, that he's just like flying normally. And he's like ahead of them. He's in first place right now. So he went over to Ken, like the ridge where they always have to like jump on the rocks or on the wire. So he went over that, and they're near like the landmines. As basically Todoroki and Bakugo are in second place, but Bakugo is the same. I just need 1 point, one little moment, and then that's it. But Deku starts diving, and Todoroki and Bakugo don't even know why. Even President Mike and Aizawa don't even know why. He started diving towards the landmines, and Tavi's just saying, he's one freaking reckless kid. You know that? But hey, he's crazy. It works. And so right when he gets near the ground, all of a sudden he just pulls up and just flies right into the exit, right to like the finish line. But he kind of just stops, and he just looks at Bakugo, waves at him, and just walking away. He just looked at Bakugo. Todoroki thought he was looking at her too, but Bakugo says, "Oh heck no!" He says, "Nerd, you're not winning this time." And then he just basically activates All for One. Yeah, he activates All for One. He has been training with All Might. He was at 20% on making it, but now he's up by 30%. Roughly his that's his comfortable. He can push it to 35, and then he can push it to to be hurts a little, but then he can push it to 40, and that will hurt his bones. So give me a minute, everyone. I gotta help my parents out with something. Okay, I'm back, everyone. Sorry. My parents got home, and they had me help. I helped them out, and they also made lunch, so I just ate. So yeah, okay. So like I said about Bakugo's using All for One, he can do roughly 40% that will break his bones, so he can go to 35. Yeah. So he's basically at 30% right now. I mean, he's not even like he's at 30%, trying to like throw his whole entire body while he's doing this. He's trying to get full Kallen right away. He's just trying to do something. Like he thinks since there's all this energy, he should be able to spread it out, and he's been trying to hold it. So he's been using this as a best part, but unconsciously, since he sees Deku right and near the finish line, he says, "I'm not letting you win, nerd. Not this time." All that. He does full count, and then he just starts speeding up really quick. As then he's able to when he gets to the landmines, he's able to jump across. And Deku sees this, so he just starts running. And quickly Bakugo gets up to him, and then he activates his cremation and starts moving faster and faster and faster. So, and Bakugo and him are neck and neck. And all of a sudden, when they get to the finish line, they just, basically, they're sliding just to stop. Bakugo saying to himself, "Crud, I can't." And then all of a sudden, Deku grabs onto him, pulling him, and then he's activating his cremation and just using it as a, stop themselves as, he's just pushing all the fire forward. As basically, Bakugo says, thanks, Deku. He goes, "Don't thank me yet. Besides, you and me gotta get to the finals and fight each other again." He goes, "But I thought we were going to, excuse me, sorry about that, that everything would explode." He goes, "Yeah, but since we're not, in a building, we're in open field, so I think it may be good if we fight." It's a smile. And Deku has a little flashback to where he was talking to a skinny man, and then he heard Bakugo said, "All Might." And he goes, So then he's thinking, as soon as he has that, he's thinking to himself, going "So, All Might's been having troubles with hero work, as I've been noticing for a couple years now. He's only out there for 3 hours, as his hero time has been decreased dramatically. So, maybe Bakugo has something, that All Might gave him." Then he thinks of the transfer quirk Dabi got so he can, transfer cremation over to Deku. So he says, "Wait a minute, that's it." Oh, Bakugo, you sneaky, sneaky guy. He has a smile and he says, Bakugo says, "Hey, Deku, we need to talk about something. I need to ask you a question about your quirk." He goes, "Shoot. Is there anything else to it that I don't know?" And then he says, "Well, first off, why should I tell you anything?" And Bakugo's getting angry, and then Deku says, "When you've been hiding something from me, Bakugo. I know you and All Might have been training. I'm wondering why." And then I figure it out. It might have something to do with All Might's time being reduced by 3 hours. And then I started thinking, maybe there's a quirk out there that can transfer other people's quirks to a person by getting rid of one's quirk also. So I thought about it. And tell me, am I right? As Bakugo looks like he's worried he can't let Deku know, and then he said, "Who ever heard of that? That's just stupid, Deku." And then Deku says, "All right, fine. I won't tell you them about my quirk." He goes, So then he just says, "Don't worry. I'm just messing with you, Bakugo. I'll talk to All Might and Nezu about it. We'll get a private room, alright?" It's after after we have to get our points. We're probably locked into tie anyways, as they look at the replay as they both came in first. So 5,000 points. They divided it equally to 5,000 for both of them. So yeah. But before that, Nezu and All Might saw Deku waving them over, coming over to where he is. As they walk down all the way to the edge of the wall for the people to stand, and then All Might says, "Yo, Midoriya, what do you?" And then he says, "We need a private room. Me, you, Mr. Aizawa, and Bakugo, and one other. The person who taught me how to use cremation. My quirk, basically. I need to tell you the whole entire truth of it. So, don't ask no questions until then, and also promise me you'll not freak out when you see the person who's there." And then he says, "Who is this?" He says, "A villain." "Alright, we're just gonna explain everything about it. How it all happened, okay?" As All Might's thinking, "What? Why a villain?" And then Deku then says, "He's probably here right now watching me. He's kind of like my older brother. I just call him my older bro." But older brother really. But anyways, can you do that, Nezu? And Nezu thinks about it. He goes, "Will he attack us?" He goes, "No, probably not. If I just tell him, we just need to explain about my quirk and all, and then we can have All Might explain about that 3-hour time limit he has on him." As Deku said that with a smile, as Nezu and All Might are physically shocked about this. And All Might says, How did you?" He goes, "I'm a hero nerd. I can figure stuff out about heroes pretty easily. Also, it's kind of obvious since there haven't been much reports on sightings of you and everything. So yeah." As then Nezu says, "Alright, how about after the cavalry battle? And we'll take a 30-minute break then." He goes, "Alright, that'll work." So yeah, so for the people in Deku's cavalry battle group, it will be Shinso, Uraka, Mina, and Tokiyami. Deku will be in the front, Uraka will be the leg, Shinso will be on top, and Tokiyami will be another rider, and Mina will also be a rider. So yeah. So they had come up with a strategy that allows Deku to use his fire, and Uraka can make them float. Hold on, everyone. Okay, really do apologize, everyone. Just some stupid freaking phone call. I didn't even know it just came up. But yeah, anyways. So Deku uses his cremation to block most people's attacks. Tokiyami using Dark Shadow. Uraka's keeping them weightless, and while Shinso's on top, he's also basically just making having them saying, "Hey, are you guys stupid or something? or do you guys have a brain? And they say, we do have a brain. You know, they just stop like, walking stuff as then he can tell them to do what he wants and stuff like that. So basically, that was his strategy, and the whole entire time, freaking Todoroki has just been trying to get Deku. She doesn't care about anything else but tries to get Deku, and that's it. And he's been using this to his advantage. He's been making sure that the fire, his cremation can burn through a fire very easily. He's also making sure that they have blocked off other people's, you know, attack points for them, so that way they have like an easy area to basically be in. As it's like so freaking, as he's just laughing saying, man, I can't believe I'm using her own attack to my advantage. This is really fun. So yeah, so after all of that, the time runs out, and they win. So Deku, goes over to his locker room, gets his phone out, calls Dabi, and he asks, so, Dabi, actually he says, so, big brother, you here? He just says, yeah, I'm here. Where do you want to meet up? He says, I just have to get Bakugo, and then we can, go over to the area. Also asked Nezu. As just then, Nezu walks in and said, we'll be in the northeast corridors if you need it. If we're the room, I'll even get Aizawa. As he says, alright, Nezu, Principal Nezu. He says, you heard that? He goes, yeah. Alright. So he hangs up, and Bakugo walks in. He goes, just the person I was looking for. Well, about to look for. As then Bakugo says, well, you need, nerd. Said, you want to know about my power, my quirk, right? Come on. As Bakugo says, you already figured out about me, so why not? So yeah. So they walked over to the stands, as, it was said, like, a 30-minute break will be needed for everyone to eat lunch and all that. So, before the fights, as Deku and Bakugo meet up with Dabi, and he says, hey little brother, what's up? He says, hey big bro. He goes, so, I'll follow you. He goes, sure. As Bakugo's thinking, who the heck is this guy? He looks kind of familiar. The way Dabi is, like, looking, he has a different jacket on, different clothing, a hat on, and sunglasses, even a mask. So, yeah. So when they get to the room where Nezu's outside of, he says, this must be him. As then Dabi takes off the mask, the sunglasses, and the hat, and then goes like, Deku, do you know who this is? It's the guy from the USJ attack. I know, Bakugo. He's my teacher. And Bakugo's going, wait, what? He's the one who helped me learn how to control how to control cremation, the flames, basically. Also, he's the one who basically helped me train with it a lot. But there's more to it than that. So, Aizawa was already in there, Nezu says, and he already is informed about the whole entire situation, that your teacher was a villain, and that we're supposed to not attack him or arrest him. As basically, Dabi says, thank you, little brother. As they bump fists, and he goes, no problem, big bro. My big brother. And then Nezu looks confused, so does Bakugo. And then he says, not literally, we treat each other like family. So yeah. Also, he's technically like my friend. My very first friend in a long time I ever had. And Dabi says, funny enough, it's all because of this guy that Izuku, became this way. As he points over to Bakugo, Bakugo realizes what he's done in the past was wrong. And he goes, yeah, I realized that already, but come on. I mean, it can't be my whole entire stuff that I'd done to him made him turn out like this. And then Dabi says, you're lucky he didn't turn out to be a villain. He still wanted to be a hero. You're just lucky of that. So Deku walks in along with Nezu, Bakugo, and Dabi. As Aizawa is saying, so he must be the teacher that trained Midoriya with his flames. And he goes, yep. Originally it was my quirk to begin with, but I was able to transfer it over to him. As that shocks All Might and, Aizawa, including Nezu and Bakugo. As then, basically, Deku says, hey All Might, you, alright? You kind of look a little bit shaken. As then he goes, huh? And there's steam coming off of you. He goes, I'm running out of time. As basically he detransforms. And this kind of, proves Deku's theory right, as Dabi goes, wait, is that? And then Deku says, that's really All Might. He probably has an injury or something wrong with him, like cork malfunction or something. As All Might says, yes, I have an injury that took out half of my intestines and my stomach. I tried to get this healed as much as I could, but it was unhealable. I went through so much surgeries that it's a lot of pain. As basically he lifts up the scar and, showing the scar to everyone. Deku doesn't wince from it, neither does Dabi. But Aizawa does kind of feel like he's gonna puke, and so does Nezu a little, even though he has seen it before. And he just says, Dabi says, that's pretty bad. Let me guess. Greatest villain, number 1. All for one. As that name shocks All Might. And he says, how did you? And then he says, well, let me explain. So he explains everything. How he met Deku, how he saw a little bit of himself in him, in Deku, and basically how he wanted to give him his quirk. How he thought he could be able to handle it. As it turns out, when he called up All for One about asking for a quirk like that if he joined the League of Villains to transfer over, he gave him more than just a transferring quirk. He gave him flame manipulations and an RPG leveling quirk. As Nezu says, an RPG leveling quirk? As Deku explains, it's basically anything to do with an RPG. Basically, stats, levels, forging, equipment, all that, I can basically create. My stats I can always increase, and I always keep on getting stronger. I always have a level, but I can always increase my skills or my basic stats to very, very high from my normal leveling. But my levels technically can always be higher than my stats, but it seems like with this, I'm actually kind of supposed to be going above my level with my stats. So I've been kind of holding back on leveling up putting points into my stats, basically, as he's saying, and it's only he can see it. He explains that too. No one else can but him. So basically, he may look like he's strong and all, but at the same time, with people with Bakugo's type of quirk, it's basically, he looks like, he's gonna be very weak. Because of, he has a fire quirk and he won't be able to use it, and then Bakugo can use explosions. But no, I can use a lot more. I basically know I can control my flames to not be able to burn anything. It still is a problem if I fight Bakugo, because I'll probably beat his butt. I'll just kick him around a few times and then win. And Bakugo will say, wait, so all this time you could have basically beat me while blindfolded and have no scratches on you. He goes, yeah. I mean, I keep on getting stronger. Like, I can infinitely get stronger, it seems like. I don't know. But, hey, there probably is a limit to this. I just don't know where, though. As All Might says, so he's still alive. As then Dabi says, yeah, also, he kind of asked me to keep an eye on Midoriya. Well, keep an eye on Izuku. As that catches everyone's attention, as they go, why? He goes, I don't know. He said it's not to take his quirk. A boy like him, who had nothing, but to be given something, and for him to become a hero with it, he's very intrigued by it. He wants this to happen. He wants Izuku Midoriya to become a hero, he said. He doesn't understand. I don't even understand it. Honestly, I do too. Everyone in the League of Villains roots for him. We came to kill you at the USJ, but we also came to see how strong Izuku basically got. As Dabi does remember what All for One tells him about Shigaraki and him, how his relationship is with Izuku Midoriya. He knows about him being his father. He knows about technically Shigaraki was going to be his brother. And he knows that he may have quit being the number 1 villain and been having a normal life with Inko and Midoriya. But he doesn't want to tell them that. He doesn't want to keep that secret, but it's something that he doesn't think he's ready for. So he's thinking to himself, sorry Izuku, I don't think you're ready for this. As basically, All Might does ask, so what's the reason? Again, he says, you really don't believe it. You're probably thinking he's a traitor, but we have never, ever come up to him and asked him to join us. By me telling you this, I will not lie. He's like a brother to me, so why would I ask my own brother, who wants to become a hero, to become a villain? It doesn't make no sense. As Nezu agrees to it, he says, I believe you. And Midoriya. And he goes, yeah. So, is this true about the leveling you cannot, the leveling quirk that you have, the RPG leveling quirk you have, it can only be seen by you? And he goes, yeah, as he pulls the item out of thin air, as it's just an apple, and he just starts eating it. And then he pulls out some cheese for Nezu and throws it to him. And he catches it and he goes, it's mozzarella. And Nezu just starts chomping on it and goes like, how long has it been in there? 5 weeks. Hasn't even rotted. It's time stops in there. Seems like so. Yeah. As Nezu's pretty surprised by it. So Nezu says, alright, well, it seems like you're telling the truth. I believe you. And, Dabi, excuse me, sir, but what's your name? As Dabi says, call me Dabi, alright? I'm not here to cause any trouble, just to watch Izuku up close and personal for the stance on his fights. Besides, I'm rooting for him. As basically he puts on the hat and glasses, and he tells All Might, All Might, don't think Midoriya is basically a spy. We actually used the commotion from the news reporters to get into and figure out where you were gonna be. That's all. As he just technically revealed that little bit of information, so that way Izuku doesn't get suspected as being a basic traitor. As Bakugo, Dabi did say he told him everything about the quirks and all that. So Izuku then says to All Might, you really gotta quit with the whole entire hero business right now. You're basically running on fumes, aren't you? He goes, what? He goes, look, Bakugo only had one quirk, explosions, and his power as explosions have begun recently quite strong. Also, he's able to move fast. So I also saw him train with you, All Might. So tell me, what did he do to Bakugo? As he gets in his menacing glare at All Might, as he says, I don't know, and then all of a sudden, Izuku's body's just slowly starting to show flames coming off of him. He goes, tell me, All Might, now. As All Might says, alright. As basically he explains everything about One for All for One, the 8 people that have been basically given the quirk before, the 7 people that have been given the quirk before him, and then along with him, and then now he transferred to Bakugo. And then Aizawa says, so you gave this kid a quirk that basically increases its power over generations, and you think a guy with explosions would be the good idea, All Might. As he said, he seemed like the best candidate that I could find. Besides, it would be a lot more easier for somebody with a first year instead of a third year, as he's talking about Mirio. He basically says, as Sir Night talked about Mirio, highly regarded. And then, basically, Aizawa sighs and says, alright, so how far can you go, Bakugo, in percentage? He goes, I can go at least 30% in explosions. Body-wise, I've been trying to something like called full Callan or explosion Callan. Something, I don't know, trying to make the power flow beyond my one limb. As Aizawa says, okay, so you've been training hard with that. Good. And you haven't been breaking any of your bones. He says, no, I've been taking it really easy. As soon as I got this quirk, I felt the biggest responsibility is to represent, to not disregard any of what all my teachings have taught me or anyone else, and to take the advice of others, along with mellowing down and trying not to get too angry at every little thing. As Aizawa says, well, at least he's telling the truth on that. And then Then Deku says, "Yeah, trust me. Back in high school, back in middle school, anything that happened to him, he always got pissed off and just started yelling. He looked like an angry Pomeranian." Basically, he's talking about a dog. As Vago's face looks angry, but then calms down. He goes, "You know, nerd, sometimes you can't be a pain, but when you tell the truth, you tell the truth." And then Deku just smiles and goes, "Yeah, I know." So, Aizawa understands the situation. He goes, "Alright, kids, you guys both have course I can transfer to other people. If anyone found that out, that means some people with that course can be transferred to others will be a very, very dangerous situation. Because we never know who could be the next villain or hero." As Deku says, "Yeah, I don't really care who I have to transfer my quirk to. I just need them to do two things for me then." He goes, "What would that be? One, make sure he protects the people that need it, if he is a villain. And two, have fun. Enjoy life. And make sure you find someone to date, if I don't have anyone to date. But I got my eye on somebody. She's kind of cute when she's angry," as Deku's remembering Todoroki's face every time she launched ice at him, and he blocked it with his cremation. Yes, she is cute when she's angry, as he thinks. So yeah, so after that, they get into the fighting portion, and first up is Izuku and Shinso. As soon as they get in, Shinso just says, "You know what I'm gonna do, right?" He goes, "Yeah, pretty much." And when they say, "Let the fight begin," Shinso says, "I give up," right away. As everyone in the crowd was wondering why, even Midnight asks, "Why do you give up? The fight just began." He goes, "Easy. What he did at the USJ, I do not want to go against him. I am literally terrified of him a little. I'd rather have him as my friend, not as my enemy." As then Nezu gets to the stands with President Michael and "Whoa, why is Shinso dropping out already?" As Aizawa says, "If you saw what we saw, you would too." As when Nezu comes up and he says, "Attention everyone, if you're wondering why this student has basically given up without even trying, please look at the monitor on what Izuku Midori has done." As basically they show the whole entire fight he did between the villains and him. And give me a minute, everyone. Okay, it was not for me. Whew, thank God. But yeah. As everyone's seeing it, even the people on TV, even Old for One is just saying this is my best part when they show Deku transform into a dragon. Basically, everyone is just shocked by this. And even Inko is saying, "That's my boy," along with Mizuki and her husband, who is with her just watching this. And she says, "Wow, Midori really got strong with his quirk and all." And she says, "Yep, my son is very special, and all this. He's very lucky to meet the people that he has." As, Mizuki nods, so does her husband. And so, that explains why Shinto is not fighting Midoriya, fighting Deku, as Midnight says, "Oh, well, if he can do that then, I don't know why he has to fight anybody." He goes, "Because it's fun. I'll be bored if I don't." And Shinso, "Yeah, your quirk is amazing. Even though it's mind control, you already showed it off already. I guess you're happy with that." He goes, "Yeah, I'm pretty much happy with it all. Thanks for, letting me be the writer and stuff." He goes, "No problem. But hey, training's gonna begin 2 times harder for you now. You know that, right?" He goes, "Yeah, I kind of figured. You just literally don't like anyone slacking off with training, do you, Midoriya?" He goes, "Not in the slightest. Besides, I can see so much potential from you. Your quirk is amazing. So are you. You just need to learn to harness that. And I'm gonna help you with that." As basically, Shinso walks up to Midori. Shinso and Deku walk up to each other as they, shake hands, as everyone just cheering for that. And it's just amazing. Even though no one fought, everyone's just excited and happy that what just went down. Eventually they, part ways. Everything goes into, canon. And then when it's Deku versus Todoroki, she's already out there, waiting. Deku is just thinking to himself, I shouldn't increase anything else. I'm already at too much of a higher level. I'm almost near 100. I just need like 20 more level ups and I'm good to go. As basically he's looking over his skills and everything and abilities, he goes, alright, I'm good. I'm ready for this. As when he gets up and walks out, he sees Endeavor. Endeavor has been watching it, thinking that Toya is strong. He really has gotten stronger over time. And Deku just said, he thinks though this is Toya, but it's really Deku, so Deku just puts a little fake smile and goes, "Oh, hey Dad, what's up? I'm surprised you even came and visit me. Why not you go see your daughter, your pride and joy, the one that you're gonna use to surpass All Might." And then he says, "Toya, I'm sorry for what I did. I was wrong. I've been thinking about everything. I shouldn't have pushed you that hard. I shouldn't have pushed any one of you the way I did. And what happened to your mother? I haven't been able to see her after what happened." As Deku's surprised. Dabi's was about to wish him good luck, and he's hearing this. And he's just saying to himself, why would that father of mine? And then all of a sudden, Endeavor stopped using his quirks, stopped using his quirk, and shows his face as he goes on one knee. He says, "I understand if you hate me, but please, don't hurt your sister. After all, you used to care for her so much." And then Deku just placed a hand on him, and he says, "Okay, I can't keep on acting like this with this sentimental bullcrap. Look, I'm not your son." He goes, "What? But you." He goes, "I know I have insider knowledge. It's because of Toya. He survived. He basically said it would be funny if I messed with you. I tell you I'm not him, which I ain't. I am Izuku Midoriya. I mean, I kind of just got the white hair because I didn't want to keep my green hair anymore. But anyways, if that was the reason why you thought I was him, that's just one thing. It's all dyed and permanently. So yeah, it's all white." But anyways, that's what I'm saying is this. I'm Izuku Midoriya. Your son gave me his quirk. And he has a quirk that is more suitable for his body. An ice quirk. It's called Absolute Zero. It's so cold it can freeze anything. Even the flames of hell itself. It seems like. But not mine for some reason. I don't understand it. We fought nearly to the death plenty of times. But yeah, I just want to let you know, Endeavor. He's still alive. And if he hears you talking like this, he may not believe you. So get up. Act like the number 2 hero that we all know. Mean, ruthless, and basically just a jackass. I mean, yeah. Sorry about that, everyone. That slipped out. Really, it did. My apologies. If you're a kid, if your kids don't repeat that, please. So let's just say, so scratch that part, and Deku says, "You're really just a jerk most of the time anyway, so act like it." As basically, Deku walks away. As Endeavor is a little bit upset that wasn't Toya, and angry at himself. But he hasn't seen Toya in years. And he said he was hit by an Asian quirk that made him go backwards, so yeah. He thought that really was Toya. He says, "That boy. He must have trained her. He must have told." He says that boy of mine must have told him everything. That's how he knew. As basically Endeavor just looks at Deku and says, "I wish you luck, Izuku Midoriya. Show my daughter the difference between you and my son, Toya Todoroki." As then Dabi, comes out of the corner and says, "Wow, you knew the number 2 hero would have made a mistake, huh?" As he sees basically Dabi, he goes, "Who are you?" He goes, "Oh, I'm a friend of that kid. I'm a friend of Midoriya." So, you care for a chat, Endeavor? He goes, alright, I'm willing to chat with you. So, they, will do it as, I'm not gonna go into it, but it's just gonna be like, how he's gonna talk about how much he, about just to get off some stuff off his chest about how he treated his family and all that, and that he regrets it all now. He regrets it, everything. And he wish he could tell Toya that he was sorry for everything. Basically, it's just all that. And Davi kind of believes it, but at the same time, he can't let go. So he'll say he doesn't want to kill him now. He'll just go with, I just want us to really hurt him. That's all. So yeah, let's go to Deku and Todoroki. As Deku goes into the stadium, and he sees Todoroki, he goes, "So, what's up, Todoroki? You look angry. It's kind of cute." As she's just getting even more angry, he goes, "No, it just looks." And he says, "Aw, that just looks really adorable." All right. As he cracks his neck and all. He says, "So, want to dance?" And she just says, "You're gonna die for what you did to my brother. You stole his quirk and all." And then Deku just says, he just grins and says this, goes, "Come on, Todoroki. Quit finding an excuse just to get angry at me. Is it because you have a crush on me? You like me a little and you just don't want to admit it? Or you just don't know what a crush is?" As basically her face goes red, she goes, Shut it, you! Just shut it already!" As he goes, "Oh, looks like I got a nerve there. Oh well, let's start this fight already. This will be ending quickly anyways." As Todoroki, as midnight then says begin, as Todoroki immediately sends multiple things of ice at him. As basically he just dodges them, punches right through them, even kicks one while he had cremation on his leg, and he goes, "Whoa, jeez, you really are trying to freaking hurt me. And I haven't even attacked you yet. Is that how you're supposed to treat a classmate of yours?" And she just says, "You're not my classmate. You're just a freaking murderer." He goes, "Listen, Todoroki, don't ever call me that. I may be plenty of things, like a jerk, a jerk, a kind person, a caring one, but I am not that. If you want to know the truth, beat me. Even if you don't beat me, I'll tell you. This quirk may have been your brother's, but it's not anymore." As then he creates he creates a scythe out of fire. As he just says, "Understand now. This is my quirk, not his anymore." And then she yells out, "Then where is he?" He goes, "Alive and well. Another quirk. It's a ice quirk." Suitable for him, right? Since his flames basically burned him. As Todoroki just getting even more pissed off because he thinks he's lying. As then Deku just starts slicing up the ice with the scythe way more easily than anyone can think of. As he just says, "You're never gonna win, not even with your fire side. My flame manipulation, I have all flames manipulated to me easily. Even my own cremation can be used to power up another blast so easily." As then all of a sudden she starts using her fire, as unlike Endeavor in this one, he's not gonna say yes. He's just saying she's actually using it. As basically she shoots fire at Deku, and she says, "You don't know nothing of me. You can't freaking understand everything I've been through." He says, and he just says, "So you think I'm talking about your trauma with your fire, huh?" As it basically, she just sees him holding out his left hand, as all of a sudden the fire started to turn blue, and she's going, "What the?" He's basically turning her fire into his own, and he just says, "Manipulation of flames. It comes in handy." As basically then when he puts his hand to the side of him, all of her flames that were on her comes over to him, and then he says, and then he morphs it into a shield, and basically he makes it into a shield, as then he says, "Like I said, this is gonna end quickly." The shield, the way it looks, it has a point to where his fist is, so it's pointing to the ground. As then when he smacks it into the ground, all of a sudden you just see a huge big of fire going towards Todoroki. As then when it gets near her, it goes underneath her feet as she tries to create eyes. As there's like a huge explosion, as that no one ever saw happening, not even Endeavor. And basically Dav just smiling says, he really is dangerous when he's pissed off. That's gonna get him sometimes, but oh well. As Todoroki's basically out of the stadium, and like she has like some burn marks on her, just like little burn marks and such. I don't know, like some of her clothes is like basically burning. As then Deku just snaps his fingers as the flames just extinguish before her clothes were burnt anymore. It was like around her arms and her like stomach, but that was it. I'm not gonna go anywhere else. But yeah, so as basically she's basically hurt, as he just says, even though you haven't used your firecracker in such a long time, those flames are still strong. Since I converted it into my own, I didn't expect it to have that much impact on you. My apologies, Todoroki. As she's just saying, shut it. As then he says, your brother's quirk was able to be transferred over to me because of a man I was called All for One. He gave your brother saw something in me. It looked like him, since I had some burn marks on me and bruises, cuts, and scarring. That's the reason why he wanted to transfer his quirk over to me. As she's just saying, you're lying. Like, even though the guy said you have scars on you, it's not true. The only scars you have are from the arms and your neck. I says, no, I'll show you into the recovery girl's room. As that happens, he walks over as he explains everything to her, and she's like technically calming down. So when they get to the recovery girl, he puts her down the bed, and then recovery girl says he can leave now, but he says he has to like show her his that he's telling the truth. So sorry about this, recovery girl. And she just says, alright, I've never seen done a physical examination on you, so I'm curious to see what type of scars you have. As when he lifts up his shirt, they can see like what the guy saw in the the changing room. As Todoroki even recovered. Hold on, everyone. Hold on. Alright, sorry, I thought my mom was gonna talk to me, but no. So yeah, as recovery girl asks him, how did you go over the years of me being quirkless? She goes, but weren't you born, with a quirk? He goes, yeah, but it wasn't showing up on any test, so they considered me quirkless. As then it just manifested when I was 13. Todoroki said, I was about to say something as he gives her a glance as she understands that saying, don't say nothing. As, she doesn't. So, he says, the only people that know this is So, recovery girl says, alright, I'm gonna go and check to see if I can try to give you anything for those bruises and such that you still have. He goes, those black and blues. He goes, don't bother. They've been on me for the longest time. They never left. Sure, that's impossible. Black blues are supposed to leave. He goes, now if there actually are burn marks, as her eyes like kind of widen and says, who would have done this to you? Was it your mother? He goes, no. My mom was working 3 different jobs, so she was busy. I didn't even know at the time until recently. She goes, oh, that's quite a shame. And he goes, yeah, but I was able to. My mom figured it out, like saw it, so yeah, it's kind of alright. But anyways, we'll talk more about this Todoroki later, okay? As she's finally calmed down and feels like a fool as her face is going bright red. She goes, sure. As then he puts back on his shirt and says, alright, I'll talk to you later. As, that happens. As the fight, Bakugo wins his fight, and then it's Bakugo and Midoriya. Well, Bakugo and Deku. And so, the thing how it's going to go is, Bakugo basically again try to make an all big giant explosion, so he's going right off the bat of Hollister Impact. 35% explosion. basically he jumps up in the air and he's doing that. All my saying, is he crazy? As Natsu says, Midoriya probably has a counter for him, and then Deku just says this, cremation dragon. As then all of a sudden, 3 heads appear instantly as he turns himself into a dragon. One of the heads catch Bakugo by the legs and then throw him into the wall, not throw him outside of the ring, and basically into the ground as an explosion is being seen. As then Deku de-transforms out of the dragon, basically as his shirt is all burned off. He goes, crap. As his shirt is basically almost nearly burnt off along with the pants, he goes, okay, that was only for a few minutes, and I kept on keeping the heat to a minimum. But still, man, right away off the bat just to create that. I was lucky enough, it was quick enough. As everyone could see, like, the scarring on him from his, basically, his arms and chest, his chest and back and everything. They could see holes of it, and was like wondering, what the? As All Might and Nezu are in shock to see this, even Aizawa and Principal Mike, as he just tells them all, saying, don't even bother freaking out. This is from a couple of years now. Had these for a very long time, so don't even bother freaking out over it. None of them are new. Jesus. You guys are just a bunch of you guys are just freaking out for nothing. So yeah, Deku is declared a winner. He gets the medal. As All Might says, his quirk is very amazing, especially with everything else he can do. As then, Bakugo comes in second. As says, Bakugo, you figured he would do something that would counter your attacks right away, so you went all out right off the bat, but still, you were still not successful. As he has a smile on his face instead of being angry, he says, just knowing that my freaking old childhood friend gotten this much stronger than me, it's making me want to push myself even harder. Push myself to my absolute limits. As then, All Might saying, this boy, as he looks at Midoriya, and he's just saying, he pushes people to do their best. And then when he comes to Todoroki, he just says that you did a good job, and wait, I don't think it was Todoroki. Say like whoever's like third place. It was Bakugo's fight. So yeah. So that's it. Deku goes home. No, Deku and Todoroki talk more about it as she learns that him training for 10 months with the cremation, that he has many more than one quirk, and her brother is a villain, but it seems like he's watching over him and keeping an eye on Deku. So she's kind of happy, and she asks, was that the person he was talking to? And he says, yeah. He probably didn't want me to tell you, but, As Deku says, how about this? Every time during training, me and you work on getting your fire quirk stronger. As she's like, wait, what? He goes, yeah, me and you work together. How about that? As basically he has a smile on his face, as her face is kind of going red, as she goes, oh, okay, just no funny business. And he goes, well, I didn't dream of it, Todoroki. As she says, Shoto. He goes, huh? You can call me Shoto. As he just says, alright, Shoto. I wouldn't dream of doing anything that would make you get mad at me now, would I? And she goes, sometimes you're a jerk. And he just says, it's just one thing about me that people love. And hate. And then she just smiles and says, yeah. And that's where I'm ending this off, everyone. I do hope you enjoy it. I know this is kind of rushed, but I don't think I'm able to record anything longer now because of some reason it was corrupted. So let's just hope this one doesn't get corrupted. So I hope you guys have a great day, night, and wherever you are. Be safe. Bye.